Morning, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So how was your travel so far in the entrepreneurial journey?
Very good, sir.
You're exploring different new things. Okay?
Sir.
So what are the real customers? What are the pains? How to deliver products? What are the services? How it fits with the customer? So all these we are just exploring. It's a kind of discovery-based learning. It's quite interesting, of course. Okay. So before we actually get into the next module, we progress our journey. So we'll see about a glimpse of what we have seen in the last week. So what do you mean by value proposition? The last class we have seen about value proposition. So each manufacturer or the entrepreneur comes out with an unique value proposition. Okay. So what do you think is a value proposition?
So it's a product we give.
Customer should
It's a
buy
product.
Why you should get to this product? Okay, because there are numerous products in the market. In what way my product is unique in delivering the services that the customer requires? Okay, and if you happen to wonder that most of the value propositions given by the company will be a small statement. It's a pitch statement for several companies. Now I'm going to have a very small exercise. It's about, I'm going to give you the value proposition. You're going to tell the name of the company. Okay? So, the first one, get that your day belongs to you. What is the name of the company? This is a value proposition. Get that your day belongs to you. So, what is the company name? This is a value proposition, company promise given by company.
I don't know any company, but it belongs to a travel.
Yeah, travel, exactly. So, a day-to-day travel.
Red bus.
Red bus, okay. A still lesser one for your inside the city.
Cycle.
Cycle, we don't, there are rented cycles in few places.
Bike.
Bike. So,
Auto.
then,
Ola.
car, any cars?
Taxi.
Uber, yeah, exactly. Who said Uber? It's very good. So for you, I have a small gift. Nice. Exactly. So another one.
Now we have this.
Mother of taste.
Amul. Yes, sir.
Mother of taste. It's a South Indian product, and they have markets spread all over the.
Archie.
Exactly. Superb, sir.
Throw, sir. And everybody will clap.
And this one, everyone will remember everything. Value proposition, remember everything. Remember everything.
Some storage device.
It's a productivity. Remember, it's a productivity device wherein you can add some photos, add some notes. Right? I almost told the keyword. You can note something.
Cloudflare.
Software is not in market. Then note. I told note from note. I almost given the half of the keyword. It's Evernote. Evernote is okay. Now for Pondicherry it's exclusive.
So you don't have one more RS.
I have.
Not everybody is up to orange.
Okay, this is BLT. Can anyone from Pondicherry? BLT. I don't know whether it is spread all over Tamil Nadu or not. BLT is a value. It's a food service. Food service. Any guesses? No. Okay, fine. Just
Taste.
make it fast.
Build something.
It's
Build.
called Eat Italy.
Eat.
Eat Italy is a concern in Pondicherry.
Yeah.
They produce hot steamed idlis from morning 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, so these are a typical value propositions given by the company. Okay, so now we'll be able to appreciate what is the importance of value proposition. It is a compelling promise given by the venture for the customers to satisfy the needs of the customers. Okay. So from this, we'll move on to the next part. Once you have identified the problems, solutions, what are the customers, everything. So based on that, we are going to project, we are going to actually model what is happening. We want to model our venture. So we step into the part called business model. We try to develop a business model. Fine. So we are going to follow the excellent approach given by Ashmoria. It's called as Lean's approach. Okay. So what comes to your mind when you tell of Lean? Slim. Exactly. Very good. Lean is slim. Then any other concept? Shortcut. Okay. Can it be connected with cheap or something? Lean. Yeah, lean is connected with cheap. Okay, less expensive. Okay, fine. So it's about, when you tell about lean, it's with the available resources how to use. With the available resources how to employ. Okay, minimalism. Okay, so that is what lean approach. And lean approach is essentially, it's like driving your car. What do you do when you drive a car? So suppose you want to go fast, use the accelerator. Suppose you want to take a left turn, you will slowly remove the acceleration, give us right brake.
You right indicator.
Yeah, have the right indicator. Excellent, sir. And use the gear, come back to a second gear and slowly you turn. Okay. So this is what you steer whenever you want to turn left, whenever you want to turn right. So this lean canvassing is nothing but lean proposition model is something like that. Our ultimate aim is to drive into maximum acceleration or maximum growth. Okay. For that, wherever we want to steer, wherever we want to persevere. So all those things will be projected. Okay, it will be given. You can model it. So that's a very ultimate idea of Lean's approach. Okay. So we have some excellent videos about what is this business model. We'll have a very short. Okay. So we'll not. But you have to observe. We'll break for 5 seconds.
This is the story of Ben, her friend Carl, and an idea they believed could become a great business. It's the story of how they succeeded. If you're an entrepreneur or anyone with a great idea, it could easily be your story too. And let's begin at the beginning. See, even if you have a great idea, success is far from sure. That's because for every great idea that has shaped our world, there are thousands of seemingly great ideas that have flopped. In order to succeed,
Are you guys following? Okay, if you're following, what are the names of those persons? Exactly, good. Other persons? Beth, exactly, very good. Sridhar and what is Beth and Carl. If you are able to remember, what is the name of the venture they want to do? Yeah, what's the name of it? It's a Boomer Travel Agency. They're coming out with an idea of okay, fine. And these two people are walking down the lane. And some companies were displayed on the side. Can you remember any of those companies?
Apple.
FedEx, Disney. Apple was first, initially it will be coming.
Yeah.
But as they walked down the lane,
FedEx.
Disney.
Who I don't know.
Okay, we have Sun
And
and
they have their own imagination of their company.
their company. That's another observation, very nice. So Sun Edison, Old Foods, okay. So you got a good variety of companies. Just to identify, okay. So fine. So what actually in this video we have seen is they come up with a business model, but the business model alone, what it has to be sustained. It has to satisfy the customer needs as well as it should come out with what are the required benefits. It has to satisfy. So it has to look into all those things. What are the channels? Then only it will be a complete business model. So by the channels of advertising and how we can identify our potential customers, who are the early adopters. So all these things as coming into, okay. So So this is the actual video. I'm not going into the full video. Okay. The second thing we're going to, so this is about the Lean's approach.
So I'm good.
Okay. So actually, here Ash Moria, he discusses about
The waterfall approach, yeah.
the different, how this lean concept evolved, the evolution of the lean concept. Okay, it's about initially it was 1950s. It was lean manufacturing, where it is targeted towards only the production. Only it is targeted towards production. How many units were produced? It was targeted towards it, and then we have waterfall kind of thing, wherein you have the requirements. It goes through a complete stage. Why it's called as waterfall? Why it's called waterfall? Yeah, there's no interval. It's like a sequence. Like a sequence, it comes down. Okay. So from the requirements till you deliver to the customer, it's continuous. It is not going to intervene anywhere. Okay, that's a waterfall kind of strategy. Then in 2000s, where it became digital, where agile kind of thing, where it is iterative. Now and then you will get you release, you will get the customer feedback, and then you continue. And with the current trend, it's a lean startup, where it is continuous. Every time you empathize with the customer. We empathize with the customer, get their feedback, and step by step we'll try to improve our actual product. Okay, so that's a lean startup. And in this video,
Fast is assumed it is.
so in this video he actually tells that the real unfair advantage should be the speed of learning. They're able to adapt. Okay, how many experiments you do to come out with the new? How much you are able to adapt to the market? Okay, it says that Facebook does 100,000 versions of Facebook, and it does so many experiments day by day, and they try to satisfy the different sets of customers. Okay, so this is a video about. So I'm skipping this video. Okay, so you'll have a small activity wherein there are different companies that are listed. We need to identify what are the problems identified. What do they primarily address? What is the solution they offer? And what is the customer segment identified? So, can you tell? So we can take any companies. So maybe I can tell Red Mango. Anyone has known about Red Mango? It's they produce yogurts. They produce yogurts, which is very good for the health. Okay. So what is the advantage of yogurts? Probiotic. It has good antioxidants. It is very benefit for the body. So they are offered a healthy lifestyle. Okay. Compared to the existing products which had a lot of sugar, which is very harmful to the body, they come out with interesting things. Okay. So there are some of the services. And we move on to the next very important session. Now we have seen how this business model has evolved. Okay, how the lean startup has composed. Okay. Now we're going to the real part of filling the lean canvas. Okay. Your lean canvas. So this is a lean canvas. Okay. We need to fill in these segments. We need to fill in the segments. So we have seen some of the things we have seen several components, separate components. We try to fit them into the actual lean canvas. So we have a small game. What you are going to do? So there are many parts here. Okay, there are many parts in your lean canvas template. I've just distributed the same over here. You have problems, you have customer segments, you have unique value proposition, solutions, channel, cost and revenue, then key metrics and fair advantage. Many of these segments we have touched already. Okay, the small game we'll have. So we'll have some person. Okay, fine. We are just having these segments, and I'm just trying to. So we'll try to use the space. So we'll have, say, 1 over here, 2 over here, 3 is the proposition. Okay. So 4. So I'll put it here. That's not issue. 4. Okay. So these rest of the segments. Okay. What these big boxes indicates is that it is the different segments of the actual thing. Okay. The bigger ones. The smaller segments actually does not been covered. The bigger segments has been covered. Okay. The first segment, problem. Based on the information we have already studied, okay, which segment will fit into one? You have your names. What are the things? Which will fit into customer segment? One. First one is problem.
Explain this.
So this is the different segments available in the box.
Okay.
This is the different segments available in the box. All those items are available here.
So I have to match the what I get the number.
Okay. So
Customer and solution.
customer and solution fits into one.
Opportunity.
No. One is problem.
Customer segmentation is 2.
Customer segmentation is 2. One is problem. Which is problem? Who is having problem?
So I'm having this marketing and sales because
You need to come and stand here. You are having the opportunity discovery. You can stand there. So you have the opportunity discovery here.
fine.
And 2 is customer and solution. Can stand there, sir. Marketing and sales comes under
Fine. Channels.
channels. Exactly. Good. And 3 is unique value proposition. Unique value proposition. Business model, yeah. The business model actually consists of the unique value proposition. 3. And actually in customer segment, okay, we'll do one thing. And solution, validation, validates. Where it fits, validation. So validation actually fits in 2 places. Yeah. Unique value proposition, you need to validate it, and whatever the solutions you benefit, you have to validate it. Okay. So validation can stand in 4. You have to give an 4 and 3. 4 you stand in 4. Okay. And you have to give a handshake to the person. So that is a interface between the 2 blocks. Okay. And you also need to give an and solution. Customer is also, who is the customer? Yeah, you have to give an handshake to him. So that's for customer segment,
Solution is also
solution and discovery is validated. Fine. And What are the left out things, sir? What's yours?
I've already given two opportunity. First one was there.
And yourself, sir?
I have to shake hand every month because I am the money.
Yeah, I mean the finance required for developing a fine. That's quite good.
So I visit both cost structure as well as delivery.
Exactly. Thank you. Please move.
Can I ask you one question? What if it is numbered in this structure? Why can't it be sequentially arranged?
I can be. Just for
My question is, whenever you stick to the clean canvas, why numbering is in randomly distributed?
I just did. So the first thing is you need to identify. See, the first step is identifying what's the problem. What's the problem worth solving? Okay, you're identifying what's the problem worth solving. Once you identify what is the problem worth solving, from that you identify who are your customers. Who are your customer? For whom you are serving it. Okay, you identify the customer segment and the early adopters who are going to take up the product. Okay, once you identify your customer segment pains and gains, from that you move on to what are the solutions you offer. Okay, and particularly these solutions may not be only delivering the pains and gains, but in order to compete with the market, what are your unique value propositions? What is your unique that you deliver? Okay, so unique value proposition 3, and what are the solutions you give? It's 4, and once you have the solutions, you need to, and what are the channels by which you can deliver it? Okay, channels. Then you have your revenue streams, that is cost factor. As our sir interacted with everyone, you have the cost and the revenue. And finally, what are the key metrics and what is the unique thing? Unfair advantage. Okay, unfair advantage for our in spite of the market. So it is organized in this fashion. Fine, it's in this fashion. So
I have a question.
You have the questions?
Small business, in Pondicherry or everywhere, without knowing this structure, without knowing all these things, people are doing business and they are successful. Suppose you make them aware of this structure, about this value proposition, about all these things.
yeah, very good.
Do you think that their business they can improvise or improve?
What Sam is asking is, in a local place, people follow a lot of businesses. In spite of knowing, without knowing all these metrics, they are able to flourish. And particularly these metrics will suit for entrepreneurs who have a budding starting engineers. If they follow all these methodologies, they will be able to succeed. Okay, so thereby I summarize. We have seen about the different business models, how these business model the evolution of it, and we saw what is a lean approach, what is the advantage of a lean approach, and we saw about how this lean approach can be employed to our business model, and it will be you will be able to develop your own business model, and this business model is quite dynamic. You have to create, and once you refine everything, you will be able to do it better. Okay, so thanks for your time. Any more questions?
Your reflection, Sahab.